Hello guys, welcome back to my channel again. In my last video, I will share some details about Python list and do some programs already, some practice programs. And in my today's video, I will show you something more about Python list, and we are going to create an application using Python list. So here is my application, you can see, and after that I will explain you about how you created this, and each and every minute thing I will explain you. So this is all about the template and the functionality. You can check here you can enter any number, like here is the title, enter a number. If you enter any number here and press save button, it will save the button in the stored number portion. Like if I save 6, then again 1, then if I press 4, then 8. So after that, these all numbers are not shorted. So if I want to short these numbers, so I have to press this button. So if I press this button, my number is in sorting order, like as you see in my screen, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Again, if I press if I enter 5, it will save in the last of my list. But if I press the shortlist button, it will come in its position, like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8. Again, if I press 3 and I save, it will insert at the end of the list. But if I short the list, it will came inside in the index which it will be, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 8. So after that, you can see here is a checkbox named enable insert. This button insert is not enabled, it will not working. But if I press this here, if I press this, like I check the checkbox, so the button, insert button is now enabled. So if I uncheck this checkbox, it will disable again. But if I check, so it is now enabled. And if I press here, like if I press 7 as my number and I want to insert that 7 in second index, like the second index is this one is 0 2 0 1 2. In the position of 3 I want to insert 7. So if I press insert, like you can see, 0 1 2, 7 is already inserted here. So again, if I want to press 6 and in the position of 0 and insert, so it will insert it 6 as in the position of the 0th index. So again, if I press shortlist, it will short my list, like 1 2 3 4 5 double 6 7 and 8. So again, if I uncheck the checkbox, the button insert is disabled of obviously. So this is the application, nothing else inside it. And if I show you the code now, came to Visual Studio, and let me close all the tab. So here you can see I have various of folders, like this is my main project, and inside this is the main folder list. Inside that I have a project named list, and inside that I have another app which is list app. And here I created static for using JS, a little bit of style. For that, I use JS folder and CSS. And this static folder is not known by my Django application. For that reason, I have to configure this file, this static file, to my project inside the settings.py. And after that configuration, if I print python manage.py collect static in the cmd, so it will create this static files which I named in my settings.py. As you see, like here you can see static root os path.join best dir static files. If I name here in a different way, like static, instead of static files, if I write here static folder, it here it comes like static folders. So this is not mandatory, but we have to configure. This is mandatory. So you see here, and inside this template folder I created another folder named as list app. And inside that list app I have created this file named add number.html. This is for my style, like for my template. And this template folder I also I have to configure inside the settings.py. Here inside this template array, here is another array named dirs. Inside that I have to configure this template folder like this os.path.join best dir, comma, inside this quotation I have to write the folder name and name as templates. And nothing uh, much in it. And in the very first we have to create the app. And after creating app we have to do such configurations, like inside our urls we have to include the path, like include the new app's url. So here inside my app I am created one file named urls.py, and that urls.py I have to configure inside my project urls.py like this. I have to give a route here, and after that include list app.urls. This how you can configure the uh, new urls which I am creating inside my list app. And after this, if I came inside my views, here is some functions by which you can do this shorting, this inserting, and this save buttons. So this all are the function of them. And inside this template I am giving the template. And inside this static folder, inside JS folder, I have created a JS fold, a JavaScript functions name as Ajax. This is Ajax code, and I have created a calling anonymous functions here, like document document dot ready function. This is an anonymous function, and inside that I am simply calling the buttons, like but this is, you can create it by not submit, like if you click, so it will work very nicely. So I am calling a click function here. And even dot prevent default I am using, for I don't want to reload my page. For that reason I have to use this prevent default function here. And after that I took the user input from the user here, and if there is the number, so the ajax will call. And this is the inside that ajax call we have to mention the route, and we have to mention the method. And again, this is the form, so we have to mention the csrf token. and the value which we take from the user. That this is the value we take from the user, and that value we kept inside this variable, and that variable we have to pass through the data. And this is uh, a form of dictionary, a key value pair. But in Ajax, in JavaScript, we didn't have any concept of dictionary, or we didn't have any key value pair concept. So this is nothing but a object. This is nothing but a format of objects. So after that, if everything goes well and every call was in a right format, so my Ajax will call this success, and uh, this success will call the response. This response Ajax will get from the view function. From this view function, this JSON response. From this JSON response, Ajax will take the response and show the value. Like there is some messages also, like through JSON response I am sending the number list, so it will show me the number list, the value, the inserted number, and this is the inside this dollar and parenthesis, this is the id of a div which I am using inside my template. This is my template I am using like this is the number input. So number input, if I press here, and number, this is number list and number input, sorry, wait, not number input, it's, sorry, by mistake, it's number list. So here you can see number will take here numbers. From the numbers it will fetch each and every number one by one and show it to the user, which in the template. And from Ajax it will happen. And if anything goes wrong, if the route is not calling, if the data is not uh, fetching by the Ajax, so it will show me a error, or show a error to the user by calling this function, this error function. And the in that time it will show me an error through this function. And like same, I'm calling the short function, like this is the function, this is the sorry, this is the id of the button which I use in the template. like here here is the insert button, this short list. So the button of the short is short button. So inside the Ajax I am using this id as short button, and click function, this is the click function. When we click the button that short the list, it will call, like when we click on this short list, it will call the Ajax, and this Ajax will call the inside this Ajax the route, which is this. It will hit, and this url I am mentioning inside the apps.url. So this is the url for shorting, and that list is in the project url already present. So this is the route you see already. Method is get, because we want to fetch data, we want to show the data to the user. So in this case this method is get. And if everything goes well, so it will show the success response, and if any error happens, so it will show a error message. Previous, again there is some checkbox here, I am using some checkbox. So this is the functions for checkbox. You can get this code from anywhere, and you can get my code as reference also. And this is the insert button part, which is I am using that function. Like if I click on the checkbox, it will appear, like it will enable. And the initially it is not enable, it is disable. So after check the checkbox, it will enable. So this part will see that portion, and after that, when I click on the insert button, this is the ID of the insert button which I mentioned inside the template. Like here you can see, this is the insert button, and this is the insert button ID, which is insert button. And that button, when I click, this function will call, like so for that time I have to take the input, like insert the index and also insert the number, and I put those values inside this variables index and number, and I have to pass those numbers and index through this data object, and that method is post type, and this is the route which I am already shown you inside the urls.py. This is the route, and inside list my project, this list route is already present, and this is the ajax. And if everything goes well, and again I have to use csrf token because it's a form. So if everything goes well, so it will came to the success function, and if any error, so it will show me a error and alert. It will show me please enter a valid index and number, because if I have only 5 items in a list, but in case a user type 99, so it will not work. For that case, it will show the user that enter a valid index and a number. So this is all about. And if you show, like I will show you the views part also. This is nothing but I am taking an empty list here, and this is the add number function, the function which I use for the save button. If the user didn't click the save button, it will direct him here in the return part, return render part, and it will show the user this template at underscore number dot html. And if inside that, if the user press this button, that save button, it will came to this if condition, and then the if condition will true, and the number will get from the user, and it will append to the list. Like here it will check if there is any number or not. If there is any number, that number will append to the number list which I mentioned in the first of my function. And this is a global list. So this is all about the add number. And if I want to short the number, so for that case again I am using a button. If the button is pressed by the user, then it will came and it will short the short the list, like number underscore list dot short, and the short function will call, and I will send a json response to the ajax. Because if I have to send a ajax response also. So in the as same as previous insert number, when I press the insert button, this if condition goes true, and it will take the number and the index as the user input. And if it will check if there is a number or an index, and it will again check the index is digit or not, it will a digit or not. And after that it will convert, like here I am doing a typecasting here. Uh, this is by default Python took as string, so I convert those number and the index in integer value. And if it will check condition that the index, if the index is greater than equals to 0 and less than equals to the length of number list, means my list. So the number list insert uh, and I have to mention the index and the number. So here we have a conclusion about the insert and the append, which I already shown you in my last video, that if we want to simply append a number, I have to mention that specific number inside my parentheses after append. But if I want to insert any number in any specific index, I have to first mention that index, and then I have to mention number, that specific number I want to save. So this is all about, and I will explain the overall uh, project in this video. So I hope you guys it will help you to create this application by your own. So bye bye, take care, goodbye.